And if I never make it, then at least I left to go try. At least I left to go try. At least I left to go try. At least I left to go try.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Luis Reveler Jr. back at you with another video. It is Monday, February 27th, 4 a.m. Here with my cousin Pedro Benitez, aka Reverend Machine. We go way back on my mom's side. He's a certified diesel mechanic and real estate agent. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a mixture of what we usually do, as well as we've been hearing from the people. They want to learn about personal finance and things like that, getting into real estate investing. So I figured might as well bring my cousin to kind of educate you guys a little bit on the real estate aspect of things and kind of just have a workout and simultaneously talk about like how to invest, how you guys can get started, so you guys get a little bit more value throughout this video. So that's what Pedro's going to be here talking to you guys about. We're going to educate you guys and get a good workout in while we do it. So
let's do that.
Let's get to it. You became an official licensed agent when?
I got my license in September 26th last year. Started working with the brokerage around that same time, like that same week.
You studied like for almost a year though, huh?
Oh yeah, it took me like 6 months at least. And that was just, you know, class and Monday through Thursday, you know, like in the morning.
While working full time, huh?
Yeah, while working full time. You know?
So how did you do it? How did you manage your time to, you know, be able to study, get your license, and work 40 or plus hours a week, right?
Yeah, I just, you know, woke up early, 6 a.m., you know, or earlier. Go hit the gym, come back, start my class from 8 to 11, and then from 11 to 12, jiu-jitsu. And then after, you know, I would have everything ready to go, and then, yeah, just go to work every Monday through Thursday. That was good, 6 months. And then on top of that, you know, just studying and then doing your quizzes and all that good stuff. For
those of you who don't know, my cousin's a certified diesel mechanic. He works for Transdev. He basically works on the big city buses and stuff like that. He's been doing that for a couple years already. And for those who kind of have been stuck in the same job for years and years and years on end, like him, he's been doing the same thing for a couple years, and he finally decided to make that leap into something different. You know, real estate. A lot of times when people decide to switch careers, they're very hesitant because one, they're so used to doing the same thing, they're comfortable with it and they're good at it. And starting something new can be scary because you don't know anything and you're afraid you're gonna fail, you're afraid of not succeeding, and it's a little nerve-wracking when you're switching industries that completely have nothing to do with each other. Because you got to imagine, one is fixing buses, the other one is, you know, making sales, like learning the markets and stuff like that. So it's completely different industries. So could you just tell us a little bit about what motivated you to get into real estate, and also what made you finally say, you know what, like that's it, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna actually follow through?
I've been doing the same job for about 8 years now. I started very young. So right after high school, went to school, you know, got my certification as a diesel tech. I wanted to work on cars and work on all that stuff because that's my passion. I would say I'm a car enthusiast, but it gets repetitive. I've been doing the same thing. 8 years is a long time, so you get good at what you do because you do the same thing every day. Same schedule, same hours. But you know, that's what it is. I progressed, I worked on my job, but I think now I'm past due for something else because I already reached the top. I can't go any further.
You're capped.
I'm capped, and I need growth. I need to keep moving to see progress and see that, because if it stops for me, then it becomes more of a job, because now there is, you know, a routine, clocking in and that's it, doing the same job, and it gets repetitive, you know. But real estate was one of the things that always interested me. You know, I started working with different people. You know, my soccer coach then, he was a broker, and I would just work with him. He would have me take pictures of houses. I would do a route, and he'd pay me like $10, you know? So maybe I'd do 10 or 15 houses, and then I'd make like $100, $150 a day. I mean, all cash, you know? And it was extra money. But I was always interested in, you know, doing more. I got into sales, different kinds of sales. I left my job for a bit. I mean, it might have not worked out. I would have seen that as a failure. But now that I'm doing this, all those like jobs and sales jobs that I did then, I mean, have served me so much. Because now I'm doing something that I like, you know, I like real estate, I like homes, I like properties. And it's easy, you know, because I feel good about it. It's not something I have to sell you. I feel good about what I'm doing. But I've always wanted to do something else on top of that, you know, have more flexibility with my time. And yeah, I've always had that drive. So, you know, prioritizing whether to do certain things or not, you know, sacrificing, not going out, to have that discipline, you know, hasn't been easy, but, you know, that's something I continue to work on. And yeah, I mean, I've always, you know, been wanting to do something else. And finally, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna commit to it all year long. Last year, I'm like, if I don't do anything else, like that's what I gotta do. Like until I got my license, like I'm not doing anything else. That's like priority. Like I'm gonna go 100%. I mean, I even bought a course that was even more expensive because I try to do it myself, and I hate reading. I hate reading. I don't hate reading. I would say I'm not good at it, but try to do it myself, I couldn't do it. It was like, I would read a page, and I'd be so like bored, I didn't understand anything. And then I would try to take the quizzes, and it was just like, not.
You weren't
I wasn't focused. I wasn't, retaining the information. So I'm like, okay, I tried that. I didn't work out. And then I stopped maybe for like a month or two. And then I'm like, nah, I gotta, get on it again. So I paid extra money, And then I had a live instructor, and he would read everything, and we were just following with it, and he was going through he was a broker, so it was easy, he was giving us real life scenarios and teaching
learning
us
from someone who's already done it.
Someone that already did it. And he was telling us, you're not gonna need this, you're gonna need this, it was just good.
You feel like buying that course helped you?
Oh yeah, and at the end of the day,
because a lot of people out there are afraid to buy courses because they think they're gonna get scammed and stuff like that.
No, I could have not done it any other way. I would never. Actually, I have a friend that just asked me. He's like, hey, I want to get my license. Like, what do you think's the best way to do it? So now that I did it, now I'm like, I think this is the best way because you're gonna get, a lot more for your money, and it worked out really well. So I would say, for sure, invest in yourself. Pays off.
15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on. 10. Let's go. 5 more. 11, 12. Let's go. 13. Let's go. 2 more. 14. Uno más. Eso. So talk to the people a little bit about coming from where you come from, obviously from the motherland, Jarochos, Veracruz, what I'm saying? It's a completely different lifestyle than LA, right? So for those who are watching, who are trying to come from better, because I get people who watch me from like all kinds of places, bro, like, Africa, like Ireland, like places out that you would never think that, like, oh snap, like they watch my videos, but they do. And a lot of them, like, they have dreams of coming to America, and you live that dream, because I was born here, so it's different. So, but either way, like, for someone who came from a country where, like, there's literally almost nothing to offer, you know how it is, like, the pay in Mexico, like, there's almost, like, no hope to do something with your life. So coming from a place like that to here, and then, doing what you've done and getting a high-paying job, and then now starting your real estate career. Talk to us a little bit about like your story, like the differences, the struggles, and like what motivated you to kind of like get ahead and stuff.
Like he said, I came from motherland, Mexico, Veracruz. I didn't want to come here, to be honest with you. I was happy over there. My childhood was great. I was a happy kid over there. I honestly loved it out there. Simple, you don't have it much. It was great. The culture is way different. Just completely different. I came here when I was 13. That was kind of a challenge because, to begin with, I didn't come here, on a bus or an airplane. It was kind of tough coming here. And once I got here, the transition was like pretty rough. I would go to school and I didn't speak, English. People would make fun of me, the kids in school, and kind of sucked. It was hard because it was my own people making fun of me. It wasn't like the people from here making fun of me. It was, my own race, my own, people making fun of me because I didn't speak well English, and I, didn't know what I was talking about. My pronunciation wasn't good, so they would, make fun, and that kind of, helped me to kind of like motivate myself to do better, to get better at, everything that I was doing. And obviously, we come from a place where you have literally nothing, and now you're in a place where you almost have like everything that you need. You don't have riches or, big things, but you have everything that you need. Like having that is like, wow, like, you're grateful for everything now, because it's like, man, I didn't have that back then. I didn't have nice shoes, I didn't have nice clothes, I didn't have like nothing. We didn't even have a car,
And for those who don't know, real quick, the reason Pedro basically had to come to the US because he used to live with my grandma, and our grandma passed away from breast cancer when I was 15. I think he was like 12 at the time. Pretty much he had no family over there because his mom was over here. His dad, which was my uncle, he was somewhere else, you know. He ended up
He was living that wild life.
We don't know what happened to him, so he just kind of disappeared, and so he was pretty much on his own and just had a necessity. Like he literally had no one over there, so we knew that the best thing for him was to come over here where his family was, where we could like at least kind of help him out. And even then, initially when he first came, I don't think we didn't even really talk or connect until maybe like a couple years, because when you first moved here, you moved to like downtown LA or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. Like, you know, when I grew up over there, I didn't grow up with anyone. I just lived with my grandma. My mom was here, my sister was here, and then my grandma passed away. So I'm like, okay, now what do? I'm over there, and then people are asking me like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna live with one of your tias or one of your tios? Or, you know, like you said, my dad was MIA, you know, because he was living the wild life. At that point, I was like thinking to myself, and I remember this like vividly to this day. I was like, oh man, like I gotta start thinking for myself. Like I gotta make decisions. I was like, you know, like that's kind of when it hit me. I'm like, oh, I have to think for myself now. And that for sure was the moment I kind of stopped being like a kid. Like I stopped like being a kid, because now I was like, oh, like I have to care about my life.
Yeah.
And
my future.
Yeah, so I decided, okay, you know, I'm gonna move out there. I'm gonna go with my mom. I've always wanted to go out there, you know, like I'm a tourist, you know, like I'm gonna go check it out, see what's up. I didn't even know how I was gonna come here, so, but that's what happened, you know, and now I'm here. I mean, I'm here, I'm working, you know, I'm constantly trying to improve, do better things with my life. You know, like he said, I recently got into real estate. Yeah, I mean, I got my license. I, you know, went to the mechanic school. I did that. I graduated. I've just kind of always been like, you know, progress, get better. You know, like I don't want to stay stuck where I'm at, you know, in just one thing. I mean, it's not, and the thing is, it hasn't just been like, oh yeah, I did this, and then it's like super easy, and then like do this, and like no, like throughout that whole time, like I didn't have no guidance, like, oh, you should go here for college. Oh, you should do this with your money. Oh, you should like, you know, save this, or you should buy this. Don't buy that car. You know, it's not the right time, or just anything, no guidance whatsoever. And that obviously, you know, I've struggled, I've made mistakes, I've done so many stupid things, but that all has kind of helped me out to, you know, become who I am. And yeah, I mean, now I'm doing the real estate, and I'm planning to do that for a while, to be honest. I think it's something that I like. I've always wanted to do it. I'm doing that now, and we'll see what happens in the future. You know, I'm gonna keep going. But I know for a fact, like one thing I'm not gonna do is stop. Like I'm not gonna settle. Like that's just not in my DNA.
Pinche Pedro, he's a natural, dog. You're a natural on camera, foolish. We need to have you more often, bro. So, give me 10. How many is that?
8.
9.
Come on, spotter.
I did spot you.
Oh.
You almost killed yourself right there.
I don't lift, to be honest, anymore as much.
I know.
But I do like it though.
Yeah. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, come on. 4, let's go. 5, come on. 6, 7. Uno más. 8. Ándale. Eso.
Ooh, my arms are done.
Vámonos, 12. Uno más. 13. Uno más. Vámonos. Dale. 14. Uno más. Dale. That's the thing, is like, that's what some people don't realize, like, because some people think that they train hard when they're by themselves. And you can to a certain extent, but you don't realize how much you're leaving on the table until you train with someone else. And then you see, you're like, damn, I had that much more in me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Or they'll be like, damn, I didn't know I was that strong. I've never tried it before.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people think that lifting weights is gonna like hinder their performance in boxing or jiu-jitsu. That's a bunch of BS, bro. It's literally not gonna make really any difference other than the fact that like you might be a little more sore if you train hard enough. But really, this is more mental. This is all about developing not only good habits, but developing a mindset. Because when you're in here, like you see him, he's in shape, he's in great shape. Look at him, he's shredded, he's fit, but even this is mentally like pushing him because he's not used to training like this. So when you train this way, high reps, you see every time I say like 20 more, 15 more, he's like, damn, like that's a lot, you know? But that's the whole point, is that you're doing something, you're pushing yourself mentally, you're going longer and harder than most people. Like most people do 6, 8, 10 reps most of the time because that's easy. But when you start getting into 15, 20, 25 reps, that you have to tap in mentally to be able to do that. You have to be like, damn, mentally.
You
like,
can't think of anything else.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter the weight. Like people get it confused. They think that we're trying to lift. It's not about the weight really. It's just about pushing yourself mentally. Like one more, like more. It's like in jiu-jitsu, if you're doing rounds, you're like, the people who can go 10, 15 minutes straight, like those are like, to most people, that's like, fool, you're crazy. But then when it comes to competition time, they're like, oh, 5-minute round, that's easy. Like I do 15 minutes straight, like, even in boxing, when you spar like 5-10 rounds, when you go do an amateur bout, it's only 3 rounds. You're like, 3 rounds, that's cake, It's the same thing here. That's why we're developing the mindset to just be able to go harder than everybody else, outlast everybody else, because everyone is used to just doing the minimum. Boom. And I don't want you to go straight out like this. I want you to kind of almost like at an angle.
In an angle.
Yeah, right there. And just up to your shoulder, right here.
Yeah.
I want you to almost think about twisting your pinky up.
Okay.
Right here.
So you
Boom,
want,
right
okay.
There. So back here and then right there.
Okay. So
you start off here? Yeah, there you go.
I see.
Yeah, you don't have to go that high though. Yeah, see, right now what you're doing, you're almost going backwards.
Yeah. No, I see. You want it more like in an angle forward,
like,
but like
right here
angle.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
And then keep almost think about twisting your pinky up. Because I want you to focus on the top though, not the rear. Right now, you're going back like this.
Yeah.
So it's working more back here.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's why the weight is important, so that you do it correctly.
I'm already burned out right there.
How many is that?
Like 10.
All right, guys, just got done with a good, solid push workout today. How do you feel about the workout? How was it? How did it feel?
That was intense.
Yeah?
I'm not used to that for sure. I was like pushing. I was like, oh, man, like I'm burned out for sure. My muscles are not used to that type of workout. I want to be sore for a few days, that's for sure.
Yeah, so anyways, we had a solid workout. First of all, you're a real estate agent, right? What are some things that people should consider before thinking about investing in real estate? Like, what are some things that they should have, some solid like points that they should get together before thinking about investing in real estate?
Right. I mean, obviously there's different people, there are different stages in their life too. I mean, for someone that's just barely starting, I would say for sure your credit, you know, work on your credit, don't have any debts, or if you do have debts, you know, try to pay them off, but for sure protect that credit score, you know, because that's like the most valuable thing nowadays. Like you need that. I mean, for anything, any type of loan, you need your credit. So that's one of the things I would say, like, that's like the most important, that people just kind of take it for granted.
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, just whatever, acquire credit, you know, just protect for sure your credit score. From there you can just build on, you know, start building your savings, you know, so that you can start saving for other things, and, you know, eventually prepare yourself to become a homeowner.
Work on your credit, guys. What's a good credit score to have?
I would say like anything above 700.
Okay,
you know,
cool.
you're on a good path. It is what it is. Like, people trust
good credit
you more, you know, and like I mean, you go rent an apartment now, they're not gonna, you know.
And like credit score is basically just your reputation, guys.
It is.
That's what the banks look at. Basically, it's your history of, are you a risk, or are you going to be a?
Are they going to be able to get their money back?
Get their money back is basically what they use that for. Okay, so number one, make sure you have a good credit score. Number two, what would you say is the second thing that people should focus on before getting into real estate?
I would say have no debts.
No
because
debts.
If you have debts, that's gonna pay off your debts.
Okay, so number two, pay off your debt.
Because that's gonna set you back. That's gonna, you know, limit how much you can borrow. It's, you know, it's not gonna let you borrow as much as you wanted to. It also looks more of a risk on the, you know, on the bank side, on the lender. They're gonna be more hesitant about lending you money, because they're like, oh, well, there's debt, you know, that means, you know, you only have, you know, income to ratio and all that stuff. So for sure, I would say, you know, eliminate the debts as much as you can. And yeah, that's what I would say, number two.
And number three, what would you say is the third, like, most important thing to do before thinking about investing in real estate?
I would say start working on your savings, and, you know, pay off your debts, become disciplined with your money. And that's hard, because I've struggled with that myself, you know. It took me a while to figure that out myself, because I didn't know what I was doing. Of course, no one teaches you how to do it, you know. You learn as you go, but if I could, you know, teach you something or give you something, is I would say start becoming disciplined with your money. Look at what every, you know, penny you're spending, look where it's going, you know, who you're giving it to. If you have to go, you know, I go to 7-Eleven now to buy coffee instead of Starbucks, you know, because I'm trying to be disciplined. Yeah. So I would say that, you know, start working on your savings. And I'll give you a fourth one. A fourth one would be like, okay, now you have your credit score, you know, you have your debts paid off, and, you know, you work on your savings. I would say next is get pre-approved. See where you're at, see what you qualify for. Because then it's gonna give you an idea, okay, this is where I'm at. You know, this is my foundation. What do I need to do
would getting pre-approved affect your credit score?
I mean, it's like anything, right? You're gonna, I don't think it'll affect you. Like, it's not gonna bring your credit score down. It's just gonna give you, you know, a soft, you know, one of those like
a soft check. Just to kind of see where you're at.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, you're gonna be.
It's better to know,
well, the thing is, you get pre-approved, then you're realistic. You know what you're working with. You're not just, you know, fantasizing. You know, you're not just like, oh, I'm gonna get that. Like, you know what you're working with.
And plus, even if you're not ready to buy a house, it'll be good just to kind of see where you're at.
Exactly. Like it's just to see where you're at. Because you might not be ready for that. You might be like, oh, wow, like, I'm not ready for that. Or,
way to go.
You know, you can make it work. You know, there's many different ways. So,
so definitely. So number one, make sure you have good credit. Number two, pay off all your debts. Number three, work on your savings and your money habits. You know, be disciplined with your money. And number four, you know, get pre-approved just to kind of see where you're at. See if you're even in the ballpark to really actually realistically invest in real estate. All right, guys, so there you have it. 4 tips on how to invest in real estate, or what to do to prepare yourself to invest in real estate. So make sure you guys hit that like, comment, subscribe. If you guys enjoy these types of videos, these educational videos, that's what we're here for, man. We're here to help our people. We're here to encourage you guys, educate you guys when it comes to investing, money management, and just overall just personal development, because that's where it starts. It all starts with you. So you will never exceed your level of personal development, and you know that, I know that.
There's always room.
It starts with you. So that's why we're here every day, investing in ourselves in the gym, you know, investing in each other, teaching each other, helping each other, pushing each other to not only get better here in the gym, but get better in life, get better in business, get better in the things that actually matter, that are gonna push us forward as a people, as a group of just inspired and individuals. You know, we all deserve more, but it all starts with you. If you're not willing to put in the work, then nothing is gonna happen. So for those people that want to get in touch with you, bro, where can they find you at?
Revving Machine, I use my social media the most. I use, you know, my Instagram. I have my website there. You can email me. I have my phone number. We can put it down here as well. So yeah, just reach out to me if you have any questions. I mean, literally any questions. I'll try to answer the best I can, you know. And yeah, and help you or help anyone that, you know, might just be curious to know what their options out, you know. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, so if you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.